Welcome back to the Wedding Buzz. It's your host, Sydney. And today, this episode is going to dive into what it really looks like to grow a business in the event industry, the hustle, the hard lessons, and the heart behind it all. My guest today, Jamie, is a social media director at We Are Bluff and the owner of a balloon design business. And she's going to join us today and talk about how she built her company from the ground up, how she learned to set boundaries without losing her passion, and how that journey inspired her newest project, the Eventful Tea podcast. So, Jamie, thank you so much for joining.
Hi, thank you, thank you. First, you look gorgeous.
I'm so glad that you're able to join me today. I know that we were both sick and had to reschedule this. You were like, "I'm so sorry, I can't." I was like, "Girl, I have strep." So, but
Literally, like,
you
there
look
was no
alive and well and
vocals.
better.
Yes.
Good, good. Glad we're both feeling better. So I just want to ask you, I know that you started in the event industry with your balloon business. So how did you get started with that?
So, um, the story is a little crazy if you want me to, like, tell you the real story behind it.
Sure.
Okay, so there's, like, the real version, and there's, like, the heartfelt version that has come after I've realized that this is truly, like, a passion. But the very beginning of it, I was pregnant with my first kid almost 5 years ago, and no one was really doing backdrops, well, they were doing backdrops, but not, like, the big organic balloon arches, right? 5, 6 years ago, this is right before COVID. No one was really doing
Hmm.
that. There was, like, helium balloons and the clown balloons and all this other fun balloon setups, but nothing has, like, a full stuff. So, I randomly saw it, I believe, on Instagram. I asked a friend about it, and she started to do it. And then she's like, "Well, I'm learning how to do it. I love it. I'm seeing it everywhere on social media and Pinterest." It was on Pinterest, really, and not, like, on social media. So then she referred me to this other lady who, like, lived in the area. It's like a random lady that had a bunch of, like, DIY businesses, and she's like, "Yeah, I just started doing this. I feel very confident in my technique and my skills." Oh, sorry. Um, it was a really weird conversation. It was like she was giving me short answers, thumbs up, just liking it and not answering my questions. So already I was like, okay, I don't know if maybe she's just doesn't know how to answer me. This is so new. Like, I don't know. It was already a weird conversation. And then I messaged a couple other people. And again, like really weird conversations. Like no one was like, no customer service or like, hey, how are you? What's your theme? Or really, what do you want? It was just kind of like I felt like I was just pushing everyone to answer me. Like, just give me an answer. Give
Yeah.
me a mock-up, a photo, a reference. Like, I have no idea what this lingo is. I don't even know if I am explaining to you properly, right? So I'm just gonna tell you.
Right.
My theme was like the woodland, not safari, like woodland
Okay.
vibe, right? The little woodland
Yeah.
theme, the eucalyptus green, the beige, all that. That was very popular.
Yeah.
So, and I gave
Yeah.
her
Very
references
cute.
on Pinterest, and I even drew it out, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I got you. I can do this. This is how much it is. You can just give me half, the deposit now, final payment when I come to set up." So my mom was like, I'll buy this for you, whatever, your baby shower gift." Gave her the deposit. Actually, we gave her the full amount because my mom was like, "I wanna give this to you. Just get this out of the way with, one less thing to worry about." We actually gave her the full amount. And then 3 days leading up to it, it was supposed to be at my parents' house. We ended up actually getting a venue because another family member gifted us a venue for our baby shower. And, so I contacted all the vendors, I contacted the family, everyone, and I was like, "Hey, we have a venue now, this and this and that." She blocks me. So then I go to my mom's page and I'm like, "Let me message her on here." I don't know if there was a mistake or whatever, but it said like user not found, I think, right? When you user not found, you can still see the messages. Like the messages still stay. It just says user not found on the bottom.
Yeah.
Message her from my mom's account. And then my sister was like, "Let me message her too, because this is weird." And the way she was responding to you, your communication, like I showed them, like, "I don't know about this. This is weird." She blocks everyone. Then my husband messaged her. Like she and I like, let me message through everyone's like information through their phones. And she was blocking all of us. And then I was like, okay.
Crazy.
I was like, so I went to my mom and I'm like, so I think I got scammed, and I don't think she's gonna do the balloon setup for us. And she's like, "What?" Like, she didn't even understand. Like, she doesn't understand the communication and hiring someone that's like an entrepreneur.
Was there a contract?
No contract,
Mm.
no, like, there wasn't really anything. But let me just say this really quickly is that she's still active on social media and still doing stuff. Okay. And how I know is because I go to her page every once in a while on my son's account. I have like my son has a little secret account and I use his account to creep on people and stuff, right? So she's still active. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe she just needed this money. Maybe something's happening. I don't know. I couldn't get a hold of her. I contacted the two people that actually knew her, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know, like, I haven't talked to her in a while," whatever. Long story short, that's what happened. Went to hire someone, she blocked me, stole my money, 3 days before my baby shower, and I YouTubed it. I YouTubed it, bought the Amazon kit. It was a hot mess.
Yeah.
My fingers were ripping and bleeding because of the latex and the powder that the Amazon kits get. It's a whole thing. If you know, you know, with the balloons from
Mhm.
Amazon and high quality already. And, like, the little strips, everyone's traumatic story using the balloon kit strips that Amazon gives you, hot mess. I actually ended up having a
Yeah.
nosebleed that day.
Yep.
My makeup artist quit on me. My friend that was supposed to do my hair, her kids were sick, so she didn't come. Like, the day of was crazy. But yeah, so that's the real story of
Yeah.
how I started doing balloons, and I did it for
Is that
myself.
you just
I'm sorry.
yeah, like, you got scammed and you were like, "I'm gonna do it myself," and then
I did,
you
yeah,
decided,
and
well
then even then, I did it myself and I still didn't think of anything of it, and then after COVID, people started partying and everyone was pregnant around that time, right? So then I had
yeah,
my cousin was like, "Hey, I love what you did, can you help me?" And I'm like, "Girl, that was a hot mess," but sure, did hers, posted it, like, on my stories, like, "This is actually something really fun. Am I a balloon artist now?" And then everyone
yeah.
started blowing me up, and for the first 8 months to a year, I was charging people $50 to do balloon
So,
setup.
working for free.
Yes, because that didn't even pay for the balloons. I was just like still was like my family always would tell me, and also my mentor at that time, it's like, "Money is an energy exchange." Before you send an invoice to someone, you wanna get into that energy and that mentality of, like, they're gonna get this invoice, they're gonna agree with it, they're gonna pay it, other than, "Oh my god, are they gonna pay this? Is this too much?" Like, never have that energy when you're sending an invoice out. So even then, like, in the beginning, I was like, "I'm still gonna be like, $50, because I'm still getting a little something," but I didn't wanna charge anyone because I had no idea even what to charge people. But
Yeah.
I was
So
getting
when did
50.
you decide to, like, really go all in and stop charging only $50 and start turning it into, like, a business, or do you still only charge $50?
I still only charge $50. I'm just kidding. Um, so I think we were, like, almost a year in.
Mhm.
And out of maybe 8 to 10 events that I did, they only yes, it was like 10, maybe 10 that I did. 2 people out of that whole time actually gave me like a couple $100. Everyone else gave me the 50. And it was like not just a couple balloons. Like I went all out. I asked them like, "What is your theme? Whatever, like I wanna help you out. This is gonna grow my portfolio, whatever, whatever. Like I'm just doing this to just test the waters and see if this is something I can do." And if I can say so myself, I killed it every single time, like beyond what anyone expected. Like every review, because I asked them like, "Oh, what did you think of it? Like, is there anything that I can do
Yeah.
better?" And every single person were like, "I was not expecting this, but you still gave me $50. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you're listening, you know who
So
you are."
so when so when did you decide like, how did you
So,
so
okay,
then you
so it
decided
was
to, really crank it up,
mhm.
and how long how long have you been doing it, like, as a full business? I know that you were doing it a lot and then you've kinda ramped down. Tell me about that.
So, I can't even remember the year. 21, my son was about 6 8 months, 8 months, because we went to Puerto Rico right when we came back from Puerto Rico. Everyone in Puerto Rico, when we went to go visit the family, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're killing it. Like, I love what you're doing." I was making fun, like, funny content. I was a little YouTuber. I was posting a lot. So when I went home to Puerto Rico and my entire family was, like, actively watching what I was doing and thought that I was super successful and like, "Oh my gosh, like, you're doing this and you're, like, pretty much the first generation of doing, being an entrepreneur and doing all this."
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, "They have no idea." Like, my mom and my father helped me build everything. My mother was my investor. Every time I built something, needed something, she gave me money for it because I stopped working while I was pregnant because I was very sick and I had a very, like, hard pregnancy. So, I was home a lot,
Mhm.
and that's why I was, like, practicing the balloons and doing I had a lot of time. That's why I got into the balloon world, but I wasn't making any money. But my mom saw, like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is a passion." Like, we love parties, we're always gonna party. Your kid, now that you're pregnant, you're gonna have a kid. So, it was in 2021, my kid was, or, like, at the end of 2021 going into the beginning of 2022 is when I got my first official, like, full paycheck, and I actually was able to, like, pay myself. Instead of just,
Yeah.
like, being even and paying for all the goods, like, I was able to pay myself, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Gosh." I just like, I paid myself just doing balloons, and it was literally just the
Yeah.
balloons. Eventually, we started building the inventory and stuff, but it was just building a garland. So, like, the beginning of
Yeah. Well,
2022.
that is so exciting, like, when you do take it from that level of, like, it's kind of a side hustle, hobby type thing to, "Okay, this is going to be a real business," and that's so exciting, and I know it takes so much hard work. So I know that the event world is known for long hours and demanding schedules, nights, weekends, holidays. I mean, I'm in it. I know that you are too. Um, how like, talk to me about that because I know that that really affected you.
Yes. Um, it's hard. I think even being 4, 5, 6 years, I don't even know, into this, it's still a struggle. I think that balance of, like, because this is my business and my baby that I grew, I have this certain expectation, and I'm very big on, like, reputation. Like, when you kill your reputation with someone, whether it's through communication in the very first conversations you have, or showing up late, or showing up wearing a certain things, or not, just the whole thing, right? From when someone messages you all the way until you clean it up and you leave. I'm like, I have to set these boundaries and this expectation, right? So I will work 2 to 3 days straight through and not even sleep to make sure that everything is packed, ready to go, inflated, and prepped. Even though I don't need to. I should and probably should be like, "Okay, the day before, I'm gonna take an hour or 2, make sure everything is good," but I overthink it, I think, and
Yeah.
I always want to
That's because
deliver.
you care.
Yes, but then I
It's
care
because
too
you
much.
care.
So, yes, that, like, it was hard, like, especially having a newborn baby. I would have to wait until he was sleeping at night because he would scream and cry during the day if I was trying to blow up balloons, or I was missing out on quality time with my family because I would leave to go prep and paint and do all this. So, like, eventually I just waited until everyone was sleeping. And then I would leave at 10, 11 o'clock at night, whatever, go to the storage unit, paint, build, blow up balloons. And then I look at my clock and it's already, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. I get like an hour or 2 of sleep to jump up to go do the setup, and I was living in that cycle for a long time because I just couldn't
Yeah.
figure out, not that I couldn't figure out, I was just very passionate and, like, overthink it, even if
Yeah.
everything was prepped ready to go, like, I would be in
I
my
think
bed.
I've even fallen into that trap before of, like,
Yeah.
I sign myself up for too much,
Yes.
where I think I can handle it. I think I can go from this event to that event, and I'm just like, "I'm gonna make it happen," and
Mhm.
even I have learned, like, I need a day in between to rest, like, how important rest is and how important help is, I even for my weddings, I have one on Saturday and I have 3 assistants coming, and I was kinda going through just, like, chatting with my mom about stuff, and she was like, "3? Like, do you really need 3?" And I was like, "I based off of, like, a few things, I'm like, I really do feel like I need the hands on deck, and I could decide, "You know what? No," and then I have a stressed and rushed and crazy day, or I can bring the proper help with me, where everyone has their job and have a smooth sailing day, and it's like, that's something I've learned over the years is that it makes a big difference when you have the right help, when you have correct rest, and so it's like the grind is amazing, but in the end, is it realistic for you to be at blowing up balloons literally all night long and then doing a setup, and then I'm assuming when you come home, it's not like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to bed," now you have to see your kids. So I'm sure that that took such a toll, which I know leads us a little bit into your new baby, which is the Eventful Tea podcast, which I know that your background with the balloons and kind of feeling, I guess overworked or like stressed out with that kind of I know led you to wanting to talk about it and saying like, "Hey, wait, I don't think I'm the only one in this industry that feels this way." So tell me about it. I know that you're launching it's called the Eventful Tea podcast. What inspired it and what kind of conversations do you hope to have?
Yes. Well, thank you for plugging that in.
Of
I'm
course.
very excited. So this is like a little sneak peek of the room that I'm going to be able to use. This is technically my boss's office here in downtown Orlando, but
Nice.
I built it, so I get to use it.
There you go.
But
There you go.
really where this podcast and this vision stemmed from was when I got comfortable enough to start talking about my just things that would happen during a setup, I would go to my stories and I'm sorry, did I mess this up? I forgot there's buttons right here.
No, I can still hear you.
I would like with if something crazy happened, whether it was good or bad, but a lot of it was like kind of bad or like, oh my gosh, you guys, this happened, but I saved the day. And I don't know why, for some reason I thought, or maybe just didn't even think about it, but I'm pretty sure like 90% of the people that were watching my stories were my clients. And someone mentioned this to me yesterday because I did an interview yesterday, and they're like, "Were you not scared that your clients were gonna hear you?" And I'm like, "Honestly, I didn't really think about it." But and then I got to the point where I did think about it. So like my storytelling wasn't as intense as it used to be, but I would never shame anyone. So where it stemmed from was getting into my car after not sleeping for 2 days straight, going to a setup, realizing that no one had their ish together. Vendors are showing up late. Venue didn't even open up on time. Someone forgot this. The cake is melting. This and this, like just everything was just going on. And I'm over here doing my thing. Maybe I had a couple little mess ups, but I fixed it. And then I'm saving everyone else. Right. I saw the pattern and like, why am I so prepared? Again, maybe that helped for not sleeping for 3 days straight. That's why I'm over prepared.
Yeah.
And then I would get to my phone and I would it became like a little series of tea time in the car. I forgot I used to call it. I had like a little thing. It's like I would I would turn it on and I would always cheers with a cup. Like literally. Like let me have this cup. I would like be in my car and I'm like, what are we drinking today? So that's kind of like you'll kind of see that in the podcast
Yeah.
because if you know, like if you're one of the first people that was following me on social media, you saw that I would jump on my stories and I'm like, "You guys, guess what happened? But it's okay, we saved it." Or, "Hey, I'm in my car hiding because everything failed and I'm in here crying because I don't even know what to do right now. Someone save me."
Yeah.
So it just became funny and then I got invited to a couple different Facebook groups that were in the event industry, specifically for like the balloon world. We have a lot of different groups on there of like helping each other. It's very popular of helping each other with like balloon colors and all that. Someone posted and there's like, where's the podcast or the humor behind this industry? Like all I see is someone teaching you how to do something or the before and after. But where's all the in between? Like where is that?
Yeah.
I want to just like like brain rot and just watch that. So I started seeing comments about that and I always read the comments. Every time I look at a
Yeah.
video, I go straight to the comments. And I'm like, "Oh, people actually like to see the behind the scenes." So then
Huh?
I started having like my assistant or myself or whoever film behind the scenes. Literally me loading up the car, unloading the car, showing up, doing a walkthrough. And then I started to mic myself and mic other people. And then one time I went home and I was editing a video, and the person that was mic'd didn't realize they still had the mic on. And you see me styling an event, and I'm listening to the conversation, and it was my assistant was getting yelled at by a client's mother, I'll say, and like in the mic. And I didn't even know. She didn't even tell me the day of. And she's yelling at her about where the cars were parked and like, you need to move all these cars and da da da. And like yelling at her about just everything. She's like, I'm here to do balloons. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is such tea. Like I was laughing, but then I'm like,
Yeah.
I called her and I'm like, I'm so sorry you went through that. She's like, it's okay, shut it down. I'm like, can I post this? Like, this is such great content. I'm like, let me not do that because the lady was like a very important client and family. So I was like, I'm not gonna throw them under the bus. But I'm like, wow, the kind of abuse also that we get. I don't
Yeah.
know if you deal with brides or whoever that they'll message you because everyone's off on the weekend, right? So they're like trying to get their
Okay.
setups and get their answers from you on the weekends when we're working. I would have people send me
Yep.
question exclamation marks. Keep tapping and liking
100% I
the
get that.
comment. Resending me the same message. And I have like an automated, message for the weekends and stuff. And I'm like, it's just crazy because even after they send you the deposit, now it's like I own you. You're my slave. And you're gonna
Yeah.
do this and that. And I'm like, yes, I will do whatever you need me to do. But you also have to respect that I am a human. And then even going down
100%.
to the smaller version of it where I know you can relate to our customer service, I'm sure you're answering. I think you have different systems now, but I'm sure in the beginning you were answering your DMs, emails, you were booking them, probably consultation, probably did the venue walkthrough, probably made mock-ups, itinerary, showed up the day of, decorated, make sure everyone's on
No,
point,
I mean,
cleaned up,
a lot of that stuff is
right?
still me. I mean, I
Yes,
do have help, but a lot of it is still me, and
it's you.
if
It's
you're the
your
bride who
business.
did this,
You're here
I
from the
do
beginning.
love you, and I know that you're stressed, and it's okay, but I literally, this past week, had a bride who was very upset that I hadn't answered her text, and it was like, I was at a wedding when she sent the first one, and I did answer. It was just, like, later, and then a couple days later, she texted me, and it was, like, 40 minutes later, it was like, "Why won't you answer my text?" And I was like, "'Cause I was in another meeting." Like,
Send her a
it's
video
like
of where you're at. Hi, selfie of someone getting married.
yeah. And I understand, and I want every bride to feel like that they're my only bride and that it's the top
Mhm.
most important thing, and, like, and it
Yes,
is.
it is.
Most of my brides are really good,
Yes.
I can't complain, but there sometimes is, they expect, they'll text me at 10 PM or 6 AM, and it's like, okay,
Mhm.
it's a lot. Like, I love being able to give out my cell phone number, and I want them to feel like they can reach out to me anytime. But, I mean, what you're saying is true, is, like, sometimes it's, a bit demanding, and I'm like, "Would you call" I don't know, "Would you call Home Depot at 2 AM and expect a response?" Like, no.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
because it's like a real person that they're working with,
Mhm.
they sometimes do expect responses, and that can be hard, and it's good for people in the industry to learn how to set boundaries
Yes.
and how to navigate that from the get-go, because we have to have work-life balance or we're gonna get totally burnt out and not do a good job for anybody.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's really the answer of it is like why I created this is because we experienced that. We dealt with it and we need a place to vent or feel seen and heard. And instead of going to my husband or my mom and my family and venting to them about something that I'm truly passionate about, I don't want them to have that nasty taste about like, well,
Yeah.
is it even worth it? And I never wanted to for my family to feel the burden of something that I'm building and I am so super passionate about. So I went to like the industry and I'm like, I know if or is there anyone else feeling with this? Let's build a community so we can just share. So then it started from me on stories, building the community on Facebook and Instagram, asking those questions to see what is it that people want to hear and talk about. And yeah, that's now it's like, "All right, let's sit down and
Do you
chat."
do you have any advice for new vendors if someone's just diving into this industry?
Ooh, I have a lot. Let me see my top advice. First of all, my top one advice I think is give yourself grace. Okay?
Mhm.
I am in my 30s. I'm just kidding. I'm in my 30s and I for a long time I thought that I was so behind. I'm like, I'm so behind in life. Like I don't have a career.
Mhm.
I didn't start a business. Like what am I doing? Like getting towards the end of your 20s obviously is when I started
Yeah.
this and then getting into my 30s. I'm like, if I'm in my 30, if I hit 30 and I don't have this certain life, like I'm failing at life. And then you're like rushing trying to
It's funny
find.
because because I'm almost 29 and literally driving to the studio today was on the phone with someone who is like a big brother to me, and I was saying, I was like, "I'm almost 29 and, like, and a year
What
is
am
gonna
I
go by so
doing?
fast and I'll be 30," and he's like 11 years older than me. He was like, "You're still young, you're
Yes.
fine." And I'm like,
Yes.
"But by 30, I need to have it all together," and he was like, "No, you don't." Like, and he's
No.
like, "You have it together." Like, he was like, "Shut up. You
You
own
do.
your business."
First of all, you do. To even hear that conversation that you're having right now, but, like, when you realize that or you have someone to share that and just remind you, like, we're okay, and I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like 40s is gonna be, like, our best life. I see a lot of vendors and friends and people that are, like, getting into their 40s or in their 40s, and they're like, "Okay, like, now my life is, like, starting in the adult world and stuff." So, like, that this might not be a good advice if we have people already in their 40s right now. But I guess what I'm saying is that age doesn't matter. Okay. It's all about your perception and the way that you move in life. Okay. Like don't let an age or time frame or whatever hold you back or make you feel like you need to be here or I just started this business. Now I need to go from 0 to 1,000 and I'm going to buy all the inventory, all the products. I'm going to invest in all the best equipment is that's another tip is like do not invest your everything, your entire savings into something.
Mhm.
Start it out, test it out,
Yeah.
get reviews, get feedback and grow from it. You do not have to and then also if you're a year into this, I feel like even 1 to 2 years into a new business or if you want to be specific in the event world, it's not oversaturated. I hear that a lot. It's still not oversaturated. There's way too many people on this planet. We're all going to have jobs. Trust me. So, like, just move at your pace that you're comfortable in and that you can keep up with.
Yeah.
Because trust me, the burnout is real. The burnout is real. And 2 years
It is.
into any business, it's still a baby. It's still you go get a 2-year-old puppy and please tell me that that puppy is perfect and not peeing and barking at everything and trying to run away from you. No,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So those are
it
like
does, it takes time and, like,
yes.
you know, it's not overnight and, to definitely I would say don't underestimate having help and
Yes.
getting rest, and it might mean, like, sometimes I'm like, "Ugh," like, if I did it myself, I wouldn't have to pay somebody, and I'm like, "But if I keep doing that, I will
I'm
burn
paying
out,
for
and
it.
then I won't be then, like, yeah, it won't in the end, I'm gonna pay for it in a worse way."
Yeah. And is
So
it
it is
really
hard.
worth it getting a couple hundred, couple $1,000 in your pocket and then you're super stressed out and you're overwhelmed in life? Is it worth
Right.
it?
And, like, how are you really is it really going to serve your clients better if
Right.
you're
Mhm.
doing it half dead? Like, it's not it's really gonna serve your clients better, and, if you're doing it the right way, and I think in the
Mhm.
end, it will help you grow faster.
Yes, for
I
sure.
know that something else that you do is you are the social media director for We Are Bluff. Well, tell me about it. What is We Are Blues, and how did
Okay.
you get connected to that?
Oh my gosh, that is truly a passion project. It's mainly Wendy Bloom, my BFFF. So I met Wendy in the balloon world. She was trying to hire me to do balloons for a women's event that she was doing with her sister. We kind of became like business partners in that sense. We did a lot of different like women empowerment, not a lot. We did a big women empowerment event, and that's how we became connected. She's in the event world. She loves to coordinate. She's really kind of like the coordinator of it, and then I'm the stylist of it. But she can do all of it. She
Right.
can style and do everything. So like we just meshed very well. We have our brains with creativity just goes way too wild. We have too many ideas. And we started working for a city magazine. Well, she did. She became the owner of the city magazine here in Orlando, one of the cities in Orlando here. Long story short, she resigned because it was already a very corporate magazine, and we jumped in to try to help
Yeah.
kind of bridge corporate and community because it was very like community focused and driven. Like the people in our neighborhood, sorry, I can't even talk. People in the neighborhood were the ones receiving this magazine, right? It was a printed magazine, got shipped out every month to everyone in these surrounding zip codes,
Mhm.
and we were planning a lot of events and we were getting shut down. Like the corporate didn't want us to plan certain events. We couldn't post certain things. And it just became kind of like another job and not truly authentic to us and like our whole vision behind this. Like we saw the bigger picture. We saw like the potential that this magazine can be. So
Mhm.
resigned and created her own. And so Blueve
Nice.
is be local, be visible. Orlando, Central Florida, Orlando surrounding areas. We would love to branch out, maybe franchise it to different zip codes, and maybe you can take over one down there. And it's really the community, the creatives, people that are curating the artists, like theater and all this different stuff, and we're shouting them out, highlighting them, and then we are also the bigger picture of it is our website and our calendar. So we have a calendar of events and we're still building it out and we're vetting a lot of different businesses and a lot of different events to put it in. So it's going to be the Eventbrite that you need to be on. So think of Eventbrite, how it's just a little noisy, you know, you have every type of event. Anyone that wants to sell tickets to their event, whether it's free or not, is on there, right? They don't vet people. They don't ask you what your event is. They have no idea. They just, you put your thing in there and that's that. We have it where it's very strategic and filtered and you can find exactly what you're looking for. So for the moms that
Gotcha.
still want to find the entrepreneur moms, but I need something that's kid friendly. For the Gen Z and millennials that want to go to these networking events, but not just a networking event where there's hundreds and thousands of people and I maybe talk to one person. We're going to point you to like the right places and the right networking people, places, events that's going to help you in your business. So we're really trying to filter the Orlando scene and the Orlando world and events and show people that Orlando has a lot more to offer than Disney and our beaches. Like all the people creating
Yeah, it
everything
does.
around it, it's like let's shout them out. So that's where it stemmed from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing social media for her because I've taken over a lot of social media for my friends and I've gotten people to thousands to hundreds of thousands of followers. And for myself, for some reason, of course, like when, it's not for some reason. It's like when you work at a clothing store, you go home and none of your clothes are folded. It's like that. It's like
Yeah.
I put this passion and this plan and I tell people this is the plan and I'm going to hold you accountable. And that's what I did. And I know how to do it. I know how to scale someone. I know how.
You need to do that for me.
Yeah, I know. So yes, girl, that's what I'm saying is like, but I need to do that for myself because I've
Yeah.
recently now people are
Yes.
like, "Oh, show me your
Yes.
page and show me your portfolio." And I'm like, "Well, my page, I haven't posted since last year, but I'll show you everyone else's page that I helped."
Yeah. Yeah, you could just use everyone else's as your portfolio, but
Yeah, and that's really what it is,
yeah,
you
maybe
know. It's
we'll
just
have
I
to chat
don't.
again and you give me some advice for my page and then you gotta
Yeah.
start doing it for yours.
Yes, I know. I feel like that's really strong in
Well, that
the like
sounds awesome. It's so exciting. Your Bluth sounds really cool. I'm so excited for you guys.
thank you.
I saw one of the first publication came out, right?
Yes. So the very first one was all about us, the team behind the scenes, and then our influencers and creators and partners. And then the second official issue did come out, which is for October.
Okay.
So now we have
That's
officially
the one I saw.
two. Yeah, we have two out.
You out. That's amazing. Well, congrats on that. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
And congrats on your new podcast. I Podcasting is so fun. You get to chat with so many different people,
I
and so I'm very
know. This is
excited for
so
you.
fun.
Well, I ask kind of everyone that's on the podcast, like, if do you have any wedding or event horror stories?
Yes,
You're like, which
I
one do
do.
I start with?
Right when you say that, there's just one that pops into my brain, and this lady has supported me through and through. So if she listens to this, because if I post this, she's going to listen to it because she supports me and she's going to know that this is her event, which is fine because it's over with and I fixed what I needed to fix and it's over with.
Yeah.
We can't go back in time. Okay, so I had been working with this client for over a year planning her event. Okay, she reached out to me about a year and a half before the actual event. It was her
Mhm.
big 50th or 55th birthday. Majority of my clients are not even from Florida. They're all out of state. So I do a lot of Airbnb, vacation homes. Like that is probably 70 to 80%
Mm.
of my clientele is out of state. And I've asked every
Yeah.
single one of them, I'm like, how'd you even find me? And they're like, oh, I hashtagged Orlando balloons. So if anyone needs a tip, hashtag Orlando balloon artist is how I get all my out of state business.
There you go.
I know it was good. She she's one of the clients who calls all the time when she has a new idea, some doubt, some fear, waiting for another invoice and another invoice. Year and a half time frame first of all. I spoke to her maybe once a week, okay? I don't do that with any other person. Even if it's like a month before your event. I am not probably not speaking to you at least once a week. And that's at least, okay? For a year and a
Yeah.
half. So I was ready for this
Yeah, that's a
party
lot.
to finally get here and, clear up my phone. So every time she would contact me was to add something new or to replace something. Or hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? And she kept adding people to the guest list and she kept adding decor, just everything, right? So finally, fast forward, we get to her event date. And trust me, I'm more than prepared because I'm like, I already can tell that this client is going to be a lot. And not a lot like stressful, but just like
Yeah.
very particular, which we love that. We love our people that know what they want. I want you to know what you want. Tell me what you want and I'll do it, right? But
Yeah.
also like sit back a little bit and let me create. Right? Like I've had those people that this is a side story. I've had those people where I'm
Right.
literally doing a setup and they're like, "Can you add something right there? Can you do that right there? Right there." Like literally pointing at balloons and a garland. Like add a little like
Yeah, you're like, "I'm not done yet."
trust the process. That's my motto. I'm gonna start making shirts and hats that literally say trust the process. When I see people, usually it's the
Just the
husband.
process.
Yes, they
Don't
come
talk
around
to
the
me till I'm
corner.
done.
I know. No, seriously. I had people that walk around the corner, peep, or literally would just sit there and stare at me. And I'm just like, trust the process. They're like, oh, you're okay. Anyways, getting back to the story, the horror story. We do her event. We have like a full day to do it. Technically, I had like 12 hours to style this event. She gave us like a full day. You can come back in the morning. I'm like, oh, cool. We can come the day before. We came the day before. We were there. I think we showed up around like 5:30 in the morning and I didn't leave until probably 12 at night.
Mhm.
And this was because everything that could go wrong went wrong. So we did marquees by a pool. If you guys know what marquees are, we have the 4-foot big light up letters, numbers with light bulbs and, outlets and extension cords. They ended up in the pool. The lights ended up in the pool. The shimmer wall with our pipe and drape fell down and broke. All these little pieces came off of the shimmer wall. It was so extremely windy outside. We had prepped our bags and we had I don't even know how many I get these extra large king size mattress bags and we stuffed the balloons in there. It was so windy that we lost 5 bags. King size balloons, they just went flying. And I had someone go run out and we were able to get one of them and the other ones went flying into a lake behind the Airbnb and I had one of my thank goodness I had
No.
like 4 people with me that day and I just had someone there like doing this to the water, like when you're in the pool and you're like, come to me, like waiting for them to come back to the
Yeah.
pool. He was like, we have videos of him literally running around the lake trying to see if he can reach the balloons because you're probably like, why? 5 bags of king size balloons is over 500 balloons. Okay. That is a
Yeah.
lot of material and balloons. So now I had to take time out of this setup to blow up over 500 balloons that we already had prepped. So now we're behind. And so
Yeah.
the thing is why she wanted it done the day before is because they had a photo shoot. They wanted to do the photo shoot and everything the day before the party. The day of the party, they just wanted to have fun, enjoy it, party, whatever. So we figured
Yeah.
everything down. We went and got extra sandbags, put everything, moved stuff, redid it. Everything was fine. I stayed during the photo shoot to make sure everything was fine. I had to fix a couple things during the photo shoot because things were still going flying and moving around. So like you really can't control the weather.
Wind is like
You
my
can
worst
strap things
enemy.
down. Yeah. So what the real horror, yes, all that
Wind
went
is so
wrong.
difficult.
The next day she called me. No, yes. So the next day she calls me and she says, everything is destroyed. The marquees are back in the water. My whole setup fell down. Everything is just, she sent me a video and it was pouring rain and they left the marquee letters plugged in. So they're on in the pool. Everything, all
In
the
the
extension
pool?
cords are plugged in the pool. The neon sign that I had to custom order, everything was just in the rain, getting soaking wet, plugged in. So we had to drive back to this house over an hour drive, racing over there the next day to turn the breakers off in this house, to get into the pool, pull everything out, redo this entire setup and this entire design so that she can have a magical birthday. And she did. And
Ay, ay,
yeah,
ay. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that's rough, but I'm glad that you got it all together before the birthday, but man, that's rough. I'm sure you learned a lot from it, and it sounds like you pulled it together, and so at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, but man, that sounds so stressful.
it's funny though because she was like super positive and happy and like laughing the whole time. And I was like dying and crying on the inside. But I think the reason why I didn't quit and give her a full refund is one, she's like, I offered, I'm like, I'm gonna refund you and I'm still gonna fix this because I can't live with myself like this. And she's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do not refund me. It's still time and materials. You can't control the weather. I truly wanted this to be outside because the whole backyard was gorgeous. So, like, I give people a heads up like, hey, I've been watching the weather. If this is outside, have a plan
Yeah, of
B.
course.
We did have a plan B inside, but So it's like she was just very positive and just such a beautiful soul about it that I was just like, I will come back every day that you're here. And they were there for a week. So we kept it up for a week. And that was the only, it was funny though after the party and after everything, it was up for another 4 to 5 days. Perfect.
And it
Perfect
stayed
condition.
fun. Of course,
No rain,
of
no wind.
course.
It was perfect. She's like, "What?" I was like, "At least you got to enjoy it an extra few days."
Yeah, gosh, that's crazy. Well, I'm so glad that you learned from that and you have so much going on right now that is very exciting. Where can listeners find you? Where can they find I mean, are you still for hire for balloons? Where can they find your podcast? Where do they find the magazine? Tell us about all of that.
Okay, well, first of all, you guys, I am a professional, okay? We've learned from our mistakes. I have a whole team that works with me as well. So, like, we're prepared. We come prepared. These are just like fun conversations of the learning process and the journey behind it. So, I won't
Yes.
put you on blast. It is Grand Balloon Styling on Instagram. You can also follow my personal page because my personal page is like where I get saucy and juicy, because that's just like a personal brand. Everyone knows that like on my stories, we're going to get raw and real and fun. That is Jamie Lee LeGrand. I might rebrand it instead of having my full name. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Should I keep it Jamie Lee LeGrand or like make it something fun? So those are like my business page, personal. And then we have the eventful T dot, I think it's eventful dot T. I don't think I was able to use the whole eventful T one word. So I think it's eventful.t on
I know I hate
Instagram.
that when Instagram doesn't have what you want.
Yeah, I know. And so what's funny is that I messaged the people that have the name and I was like, can I buy it from you? Or are you even using it? They haven't even read my message. They haven't been active since 2021 was like the last post. There was like 2 posts on that page
Oh,
and it
so
was
they're
like
not active.
many years ago. Yeah, so I'm like, they're not even active because obviously like that I look at that too. Like I do a deep research to make sure that no one has that same name, right? So I went to Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. No one has that true Eventful Tea podcast, but I'll be posting on like Spotify, Apple. We'll share snippets and clips on YouTube. We have a game show that's going to be associated with the podcast. So it's like fun icebreakers. So we'll share the game shows and all that like on Instagram and YouTube and everything. And then just the fun, raw, actual podcast will be mainly, I believe, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other. It's already linked to like all the other podcasts, I think. I don't
Nice.
know.
Nice. Well, that's so exciting. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was so good to see you and chat. And I wish you the best with all of these exciting things
Yes.
you have coming up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. Thank you for inviting me. Fun little fact is that this is my first podcast that I'm being interviewed in. So thanks.
Nice. Well, I hope it
You
was
popped
fun.
my
It was fun
cherry.
for me. All right. Good seeing you.